I made this skirt about a week ago and I got some questions on how I aligned the pattern in the front with pleats. So you can see that they're box pleats. So it goes on the inside, and this is what the inside looks like. So the pleats are large on the outside and the inside because I didn't have enough fabric to make full box pleats that actually meet in the center. And so I'll show you how I got these pleats to align so well in the front. I'm going to show you just on the scrap fabric I have left over on how I made my pleats. I've just got my sewing gauge here set at 3 inches and then my pins to help me set up where I want to iron. When you actually make the garment, you would make the pleats based off of a center point, but I'm not actually making a garment. I'm just using this as a test to show you how I did it. So I'm not actually using a center point. I'm just going to pick a random point in the fabric to start the pleats and go from there. I'm going to mark off 3 pleats here with pins vertically in the direction that I want the pleats to go. So I want the pleats to be going like this in this direction, so I'm going to be marking vertically. So I'll take the first pin on the left side of a pleat, and then on the 3-inch mark on this side. Normally with a box pleat you would add the same amount of fabric underneath it. So if I had 3 inches here, I would take 3 inches and have it meet at the midpoint in the back. But because of the way my waist worked out in the pattern, I ended up having less in the back, but I'll just show you with the full 3 inches what that looks like. For the second pleat, you're going to move over 6 inches, so you have 3 inches to fold under the right pleat and 3 inches to fold under the left pleat. So I'm going to pin this at 6 inches. I'm going to pin again at that 3-inch mark on this side. Next, I'm going to bring my fabric over to my ironing board, heat up my iron, and get ready to iron down these 4 points for the 2 pleats that I have here. I'm going to start with this pleat right here. This is going to be the part that's going to be on the outside of the fabric, and then this section between these 2 blue pins is what's going to be inside, folded underneath them. So I'm going to take these and iron them down as if they were in the fabric, in the waistband. I'm going to pick up this yellow pleat and I want to fold it in this direction and iron it down. So I'm going to pick it up and place it down like this and align it so everything is in the right direction. You can measure this if you'd like, but because it's such a nice, even pattern, I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to iron it straight down all the way to the bottom of this. And now that that is ironed down flat, I can take the pin out. And now I can iron this one back as well. Now that this pleat has been ironed back, you can kind of see where it is. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to this left pleat. Now that I have all these pleats ironed out in the right directions, I'm going to start pinning, but I'm going to pin the right side of this pleat with the left side of this one. So I'm going to be pinning them together like this. And I'm going to do that from the direction I'll be sewing. I'm going to be sewing from the wrong side of the fabric. So I'm going to flip it out and pin it this way, aligning the 2 iron marks. Because of the crease in them, I can literally just hold the fabric up against each other and see where the pattern is going to be aligning left to right, and then just pin it backwards in the back while I'm holding it. I have my fabric over at my sewing machine. I am going to sew along that fold, which I know was on the outside of this white line. And I don't worry about backstitching at the beginning because this is going to be inserted into the waistband anyways, and so I can just sew without worrying about having that come undone later. I'm just going to go right down to the bottom and then backstitch a little bit, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. So this is what it looks like. I did actually mess up a tiny bit here. It's a little off, but I was rushing through it just to show the process. And then I pinned these back to show you what it looks like. You get this loop behind it with the extra fabric that makes the bottom side of the pleat fan out. So for that, I literally just stick my fingers in it, pull it to the side, pin it down, and then when I'm done, I sew across the whole top so that it doesn't move. And then I can just sew it right into my waistband and not worry about taking out that stitching later. I hope I was somewhat able to communicate to you how I did this. If you see in the front, I actually left the seams in so that it lays flat across my waist. In the back, I took those seams out so that it would be more flowing in the back per normal curves. And the inside, I didn't make the the pleats go all the way to the center and meet. And then even on the sides where I have the invisible zipper and the pockets, the pattern still meets. So it's the same one all the way around. That my waist number just fit really well with the size of my pleats, which is why I was able to do that, but it may not be the same for another garment, or you can force it that way by choosing how much fabric you put behind your pleats, which is what I did. So that's it. I hope this was somewhat useful. If you have any questions, just comment or message me, or I don't know. I don't actually make tutorials. Somebody just asked me to show them. So have a great day.